The West Coast opening to Monster Energy Supercross has produced drama worthy of a Hollywood script.
Coming inside! Oh, man! That was such a great opportunity for him. Here he comes! Chad Reed's done it again! Villapoto becomes the first two-time winner in 2014. Oh, Barsha! Oh. Into the top blocks and over. Oh, Villapoto and Dutchie are down together! Oh, my gosh! Here comes Reed! Down he goes! Oh, Reed was giving it everything he had!
Last week in San Diego, a wire-to-wire win throws Yoshimura Suzuki's James Stewart into the title conversation.
Will this be his first win in 2014? Yes! And James takes the win in San Diego.
As the championship heads to Texas, the contenders look for traction on the tacky Texas soil. Monster Energy Supercross is ready for gate drop right now. Live on Fox Sports 2.
Round 7 of the 2014 Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship season is underway in Arlington, Texas. Opening ceremonies beginning as we go live with a progressive pre-race show to kick off the night. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen, joined once again here in the booth with Ricky Carmichael and Jeff Emick, ready to go racing here in the Lone Star State. Let's get you caught up to speed with the news and notes as we transition from the West Coast to the first round as we head east. James Stewart getting his first win of the year just a week ago, last Saturday night at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. Maybe a bigger story was Chad Reed getting hurt and whether or not he would be able to ride here tonight. More on that story coming up in just a minute. The West Coast 250 riders will take a break. The East Championship begins here tonight. Blake Wharton will be a big part of that championship story. Okay, let's get you up to date on Chad Reed. If you missed it a week ago in San Diego, here's Chad on the green 22, chasing down Ken Roczen, runs over his back tire and goes hard into the dirt, injuring that shoulder. We weren't sure if he was going to be able to ride here tonight. He came out for the first untimed session, Ricky, looked okay.
Yeah, he did, and then he's coming out here. You're going to get ready to put in a fast lap, okay, a qualifying lap. He's going to cross the finish line, okay, that's where your time starts. Does that, makes a right-hand turn and looks instantly aborts the lap, okay? You can see drop his shoulder, his arm that is hurt, okay? Comes riding off the track, can't even put his hand on the handlebar. Not what you want to see. This is one of the toughest competitors I know. I mean, it's just such a shame to see that. You can see he's getting to his rig right there, taking his helmet off, kind of tossing it there in frustration. Just such a bummer.
And then Chad put this out on Instagram just a little while ago, saying that basically went out for that time in that second time session. Something went wrong with that shoulder. He has left the racetrack. He has gone to the hospital for further updates. If we get more information on Chad's status as we're going through the course of the night here at Arlington, we will certainly pass that along to all of us, hoping things get better in a hurry for Chad Reed and we get 2-2 Motorsports back here to the racetrack. Okay, now let's transition over to that 250 East Championship, Jeff. That kicks off tonight. Who you like in this championship?
Well, I do think it's interesting that one champion's journey for another championship ends, and tonight we have this 250 East that's filled with riders that have never won a Supercross championship. And the riders that were really impressive to me today were the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki riders. They qualified first, second, and fourth. Blake Wharton was third in there. And it was Adam Cianciarulo, one of the rookies that we have here starting this championship, that was the only one that was able to get up there with those veterans. So good mix of the veterans and the rookies, should be really exciting.
Well, let's introduce you to Adam. He was with our Jenny Tapp just a little while ago down at the Chaparral starting gate.
Adam Cianciarulo is one of the most highly anticipated new riders coming into the 250 class this year. This is your first Supercross race. There's a lot of energy inside AT&T Stadium. What are your impressions so far?
My impression so far is exactly what I thought it would be. Crazy, you know, there's so many fans, and coming from amateur motocross to this, it's culture shock for sure, but yeah, day's gone good so far. Just ready to get it started, ready to get the season underway.
What are your goals for this year?
My goals for this year is just to ride like I know how to. Obviously, there's a lot of fast guys I'm going to be racing against, and today's gone good so far. I have a good idea of where I am, so I think if I can just put my races together, I think that'll put us in a good spot to hopefully battle for the championship.
Thanks so much, Adam. We look forward to watching you in your debut tonight.
Great young guy, Adam. Let's show you the 411 of we are going to be showing you tonight as far as racing action. 2 heat races for each class, and then we run 2 semis. That's only for the 450s. We will have a last chance qualifier, or LCQ, in each of the 2 divisions, and then 2 main events, 15 laps for the 250s, 20 laps for the 450s. Each race will have 22 riders. There you see Ryan Villapoto, the 3-time and reigning champion, making his way off as we are wrapping up opening ceremonies here inside AT&T Stadium. And we're going to get a good look at Adam Cianciarulo right away. Here he is on the 46, getting some words of encouragement from his pro circuit mechanic as we get ready to go racing here.
This is what it's all about, Ralph. You know, we look at Adam, and he's had a long, fantastic amateur career, and now he's under the big lights. Pretty cool to watch, and excited to see how he's going to do.
Let's take a look at the track map for here inside AT&T Stadium, Jeff.
It's going to be a fairly short start. The inside is really not going to be good. I think the outside will work best into this rhythm section. And I cannot stress enough how hard-packed this soil is here in Texas. Dirt trackers and stuff, you guys know what I'm talking about. It is blue groove out there. This is a very hard clay. The track has worn in well, though, today. I've been really impressed with it. Thought it was going to be a little bit notchy and choppy. Some of the turns, like coming out of this turn for this triple jump, have got that sort of acceleration bump, notchiness I'm talking about. But overall, it's worn in well. You're going to go over the finish line there, have another rhythm section. They actually changed the first jump there, trying to switch up the rider's rhythm. Basically, you know how it goes. These riders, they have the horsepower, they have the skills. They're going to triple all the way through. They're going to triple on this, pop off over the second of the large triples, left onto the start straight, and that's a lap in Arlington.
On today's coverage of the 2014 Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship is being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network. We welcome in the nearly 1 million men and women of the U.S. Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, and Marines stationed around the globe in 175 countries and out on the high seas. We're so proud to have you with us. We sure hope you enjoy the broadcast, and thank you for everything you're doing to keep us free so we can go racing here tonight. 30-second board is up. Gemma's got that ready for us.
Get a good look there of that soil, and they take the dozers out there and they try to kind of turn that soil up, but it is hard packed. And the thing to remember here, these starting gates, nobody has done any starts all day long here, so this is a fresh gate. You can see right there how from everyone walking on it, the mechanics see this line here that the 93 has. It's not a very good line behind the gate.
Daggett, Cianciarulo right there with him on the 46. So the 2 pro circuit riders going to battle it out early here. Top 9 will transfer, and Adam goes to the lead.
Young and old finding themselves right here together. And obviously Baggett's not old, but he's a veteran of this class. This is really time for him to make it happen this season. And of course for Adam, he's just starting out. So we'll see here in this early heat race who has the nerves and who's ready to go from the first gate drop.
How important is it for Adam to get out front right away, Ricky, like that, and burn off some of that adrenaline?
Well, I think it's good. And another thing that is good also, you can see that's a big jump out of the corner there, tripling onto that tabletop. But you set the tone for your, your Supercross career right here, coming out with a nice little win in the heat race. Stuff resonates.
Yeah.
Want to do the same thing in the main event, start off with the win, and that's the only thing you know is how to win.
Well, and you both know a lot about what it was like to come into Supercross as a highly touted youngster. There's a lot of pressure on a guy like Adam.
Well, there is, and everybody is expecting him to win. Okay, and he has been the guy everybody has talked about, so a lot of pressure.
You saw Lemoyne on the 78 make a move up to 5th. You also see the 52, that's Thompson. Remember, top 9 transfer out of the top 5 here, or I should say the top 9 transfer out of the 250 heats. Let's take a look at our SXmo, our super slow-mo.
Yeah, watch this right here. See this line right here where Cianciarulo is? That clay is so hard, and you see the first bikes going across, digging in there, starting to dig a little groove. As the night goes on, those grooves will get more defined, but lots of traction from that sort of wet clay right there in those sections. Other parts of the track where it's a little bit drier, traction's going to be minimal.
This race track here in Texas, the dirt, without question, some of the toughest you'll find anywhere on the tour.
Without a doubt, it always has been in nature. And the thing about this track is the dirt isn't very forgiving. A lot of the tracks that we go to, even out west, we talk about it's hard packed, but at least there's a little bit of give to it, okay? If you come up short or things of that nature. But this track is really, really, really hard. I mean, the dirt does not move at all, so you have to be very precise and on point.
Lemoyne and the 52 at Thompson battling here. They're fighting over 4th position. That's Lemoyne on the 78. Thompson's right there on the 52. Cole on his KTM 250. Rockstar Energy backed.
Yeah. Good here, going over the finish line jump into this rhythm lane. A lot of guys doing the same line there, kind of come out of that corner, go single, double, and triple, triple.
Jeff, a lot of the folks that are watching Supercross here tonight were introduced to Adam when it came to the Monster Energy Cup. That's where we first got a look at it.
Yeah, and was very impressive, and that's a great race for these young amateurs to get the experience of riding in the stadiums like this.
Hard to get that. You can't just find Supercross tracks laying around anywhere. Here's another SXmo look, this time with Adam.
Yeah, look at Cianciarulo over the triple right here. This is just before the finish, and watch the rear tire, how on the landing, how it digs into the jump, how much the rear suspension compresses all the way, and he's hard on the throttle, ripping all of that hard clay back out. And as the night goes on, the landing of that triple jump will get cupped out big time just from that tire heat.
Here we go, final lap, heat number 1 for the 250. Oh! And Adam bobbles. Baggett is right there. Can't capitalize on it, and Adam grabs a handful of throttle and rockets away.
Notice he has to grab the inside right there. Now he knows that Baggett's there. Let's see if Baggett goes for the inside. Not going to be close enough. A couple lap riders over that triple.
Here we come, checkered flag waits, and Adam Cianciarulo makes a great debut in Monster Energy Supercross as he picks up his first heat race and his first official event. Top 9 will transfer as we work our way through. You see Lemoyne and Thompson go across.
Rodriguez, how about that third right there? He's a rookie. This is his first Supercross.
Audette should be back here. Catanzaro might just miss out. Audette is across, and Catanzaro will go to the last chance qualifier.
Oh, this is Martin right there.
Yeah, Jeremy Martin.
The number 19 goes in. Who don't quite have the number there. Who
the 828 is who he got into. That's Kraft.
Kraft, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, we're going to see Ryan Villapoto in a little bit. Jenny, how's he feeling about tonight's track?
Well, Ryan Villapoto was just cheering for Adam Cianciarulo. Are you happy to see that he just did well in that first race?
Yeah, you know, the guy's had a lot of pressure and a lot of hype coming into his, Supercross debut. So to get a qualifier and the first race ever here under his belt and to ride like that, he rode really well. So I think we have a lot of good things to come from him.
Everyone's been talking about the difficulty of the track tonight. What are your first impressions?
Yeah, I mean, this dirt is very unique dirt. It's almost like putty. So the track is very rough and it will break down, but it's a very, it's kind of technical because the dirt plays a factor into how hard you can get on the gas and how hard you can ride the track.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Ryan Villapoto, our points leader coming into tonight.
Well, he certainly understands what it's all about, coming in as a highly touted youngster, and he has lived up to his billing without question. There are those 9 that are going through. Of course, the guy we want to talk to right now, debut race, debut victory. Way to go, Adam Cianciarulo. Get your first win in your first heat race. That's pretty impressive. Okay, how nervous were you at the beginning as opposed to how nervous you are now that you've got one in the books?
To be honest with you, I wasn't too nervous. Coming into this race compared to outdoors was a completely different story for me. Came in here super mellow, knowing I just want to ride my laps, and if that puts me 10th, that puts me 10th, and if that gets me a heat race win, I'm happy with that too.
Well, Adam, you were one of the most accomplished amateurs all those years growing up. What's it like finally to be on the main stage of Supercross, bud?
Oh man, it feels unbelievable. You know, this is what I've dreamed of since I've been 3 years old, watching you and McGrath battle it out. I mean, it's so big for me. I'm lost for words, but obviously just a heat race win. Want to carry it into the main. Hopefully get another good start like that, and yeah, just make it happen.
Good job, bud.
Congratulations, Adam. We look forward to watching you in the main event and this 250 East Championship getting underway. We're going to have heat number 2 for those guys coming up. Adam Cianciarulo makes his first debut and his first win live on Fox Sports 2. Just before we drop the gate on heat number 2 for the 250 East Championship, let's introduce you to Diana Dahlgren, Miss Monster Energy Supercross, to kick off our social media here tonight.
Welcome to Arlington. Great night for us here at Supercross, and we hope that you're having a great time from home watching tonight's live broadcast. Make sure to send me all of your Instagram photos, all those tweets, questions, and comments. Make sure to use that hashtag SXOnFox. Another great thing we're doing here this week, Monster Energy Supercross and Operation Homefront have paired up for a live auction. From last weekend's military appreciation race, we had all of our top riders donate their gear. Just head on over to supercrossonline.com and check it out and get to bidding.
There's Martin Davalos on the 31. He's got the 36 of Blake Wharton right alongside of him.
And Davalos basically dominated the fast lap times every time he got on the track here today. He's a veteran. He should be doing that, and he has been very impressive. And this is another rookie, or a rookie, that I'm looking forward to seeing, Matthew Bichelia here. Notice he's out of Weatherford, Texas, local guy.
He's a good kid.
You
know, we spend a lot of time around him at the amateur races when we go to him, Jeff, and just a great kid, good head on his shoulders, fun to be around.
Yeah, good family, and he was the AMA Horizon Award winner last year. So.
He's got that Geico Honda team backing him, which is a great ride to have if you're going to move up.
Without a doubt.
32nd board is up.
Well, there's 3 of them here. You got Vogel, Wharton, and Bichelia.
Here we go.
On the same team, same gate.
Getting ready for the gate drop. Battling their way out of the first corners is Davalos out front, but it looked like it might have been Dakotas who actually had the whole shot. And he's dropped into second on the 56. Then watching that 36 come charging up the inside as we watch Wharton try to fight his way up into second place. The third, he's got Faith right in front of him, 49.
And notice Wharton trying to use some inside lines. And Ricky, I'm really impressed. It looks like there's some moisture coming up out of this hard soil, and it actually looks pretty tacky in spots as opposed to earlier today. In that second qualifying, the track was pretty dry.
Yeah, the Supercross dirt guys, dirt builders, have done a good job getting water down when they needed to, and it's still hard. Don't let that moisture fool you. You don't want to hit the deck, that's for sure.
Wharton worked that last rhythm section perfectly, got to the inside and took over third on Faith. Now he's setting up Dakotas. Dakotas has spent the last couple of weeks running in the 450s, but now he's back here with the 250s.
Yeah, that's a good move. You get that track time, you get warmed up, everything, and a lot of time when you ride that big bike that we're going to see coming up later here, the 450s, you jump on your 250 and it makes it feel small and you can ride it real aggressive. But the one thing that he's definitely going to feel different is there's not as much horsepower. And that jump out of that turn onto that tabletop is a real struggle for these 250Fs.
Here's a great look at the racetrack layout here inside AT&T Stadium.
Oh, right around the outside. Jump the quad.
Nice.
Goes into second.
Yep.
Nice pass.
Gets around Dakotas, and now he'll see if he can track down Davalos, who's about just under 4 seconds in front of them. Remember the top 9 transfer. Here comes the 49 of Faith. He's going to take over third as well. And Dakotas loses 2 spots.
Well, and these riders that have just passed Dakotas, they need to get in gear because Davalos just set the fastest lap time of the night so far with a 45.9, just a 1/10 of a second quicker than he won, where Baggett had your fastest time.
Gavin Faith, man, he always, he's a great rider, you know, and he just sometimes doesn't get the credit that he deserves, but guy's got skills on a motorcycle for sure.
Yeah, and I think on this, I feel like on this hard-packed track like this, you know, Faith is one of the taller riders out there, and he can really use that to his advantage here in the whoops, especially in the turns. If he gets that inside foot out, and if you can get any weight in front of the front axle, up there in front of the radiator shroud, you can really use that to your advantage to get that front wheel traction. Then, of course, he's so tall right here, he can really soak up some of these jumps, some of these rhythm sections to help give him a faster lap time.
Ty Lube and Storm Lake Honda helping out Faith. Two laps left to go here. Big crash taking place here. Watch this.
Yeah, watch right here. Comes up way short. That's Starling.
99 Starling.
He just had no. Oh, and then another rider he ends up going down. Yeah, but Starling just did not have the speed needed to make that triple jump. And Ricky, you hit it earlier about this track. There's no give to it, and so you come up short like that. It's just like
he got catapulted. You know, he just hit right over. And here's the guy. What do I call him? The heat race hero, Martin Davalos. This guy, I mean, he's so fast. He's always fast qualifying practice, and if he would get it, if he would figure it out for the main event, I think this guy would have been a champion by now, for sure. I mean, because he's obviously got the heat races figured out.
I mean, he's been here for a long time, Ralph.
Yes.
It's time for him to do it.
Got to deliver, right?
Yep.
He's capable of delivering on the heat races. It's his 9th year in the 250s. No wins in the mains, but he's got another heat race win. As we watch Martin transfer, now we'll see who the final spot will be. Kilbarger runs in 9th right now on the 69.
Yeah, and it's Jace Owen just behind him, just about a second or two. You see him, there's that group of 3. Kilbarger looks like he's going to lock this thing down and go straight to the main.
So that'll wrap up our 9 there. And James Stewart, Jenny, wow, what a big night for him with a win just a week ago.
You're right, Ralph. James Stewart, moments before you're about to race. I hear you have some special guests here tonight. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, you know, got a couple of my amateur kids here, and you know, with our James Stewart Spring Championship coming up, it's you know, it's always nice to be in the state of Texas and have those guys represent. So hopefully, sorry I'm not too talkative right now. I got to get ready to race.
We completely understand. Good luck, James. Thank you.
Trying to get himself focused. One of those riders that does give a lot back to the sport, putting on that great amateur event. There are the 9 going through. Shelia makes the transfer from 5th. Cunningham, Peters, Martin, and Kilbarger also going through. Martin's going to be joining us here at 27 years of age. Now the oldest rider in the 250 ranks. Martin with 5 wins, and he races a year ago. Begins off his 2014 campaign with a heat race win here in Arlington, and he joins us now. Let's check in with him. Okay, Martin, you got it off to a good start. Now, what do we got to do to get that goose egg out of that big win column here?
Just ride like that, get a good start, and you know, a lot of people tell me I win so many heat races, and you know, I'm tired of the heat races. It just really doesn't count for me. I just want to win a main event, you know, and to put me in that position tonight, I got to get a good start and just solid laps. I feel really good. My bike is amazing, and you know, I just can't give it up to my whole team, Monster Energy, Pro Circuit, Kawasaki, Parts Unlimited, Thor, Alpine Stars, Maxima, Dunlop, Vans. My trainer, Ty, Brock, for helping me out. My dad, family, everybody that's watching me. You know, it's been a great off season, and I'm looking forward for the main event.
Hey, Martin, your lap times here tonight, you were 1/10 of a second quicker than Baggett. Cianciarulo was on the same lap time. Team seems to be solid. The bikes are great, but what's it going to take to win here on this track here tonight? What's the key?
Yeah, definitely. I'm pumped for my teammates. They're riding awesome, and yeah, like you said, the bikes are amazing. So it's going to take a good start and just solid laps, man. I know I can do it, and you know, this is my year. I just want to come out of Dallas safe and build from that.
Well, as we've said, you got to believe you belong, and apparently you do. So we'll see if we can transfer that to a main event win coming up a little later. The 250s are done for now. That means heat number 1 for the big bikes. 450s, their championship quest continues when we come back. Are you on that one? Back here at AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas, getting ready for the 450 heat number 1. Let's go to Jenny down at the Chaparral starting gate.
Thanks, Ralph. Well, one thing that Justin Barcia doesn't lack is confidence. Even though he's yet to make it up on that podium this year, he's doing everything to put him in the position to get back up there as soon as he can. Over this last week, he made a lot of changes to his bike, but he's confident because he's been riding some of the fastest races ever. He's also been working on changing his bike, making it more controllable when it comes to power, and this New Jersey kid is hoping that this East Coast swing will be the perfect fit for him.
It started with $250,000 up for grabs, the Toyota Triple Challenge. It's a championship within a championship where points are kept for 3 events. And 2 weeks ago in Anaheim, which was won by Chad Reed, this week in Dallas, and finally in New York. Now the rider who scores the most points wins a brand new 2014 Toyota Tundra. After his win in Anaheim, Chad Reed had the chance to win all 3 races, pocket that $250,000 grand prize. Somebody is still going to grab that truck. There's James Stewart. The way he ran a week ago, if he can get the win here tonight, he might be in a great shot to get that Toyota truck when we wrap up at MetLife Stadium in April.
You can see he was our second fastest qualifier here today at a 45.5. Ken Roxon was a 45.4. It was really, really competitive between the top 4, Barcia being 4th. And Villapoto was your 3rd fastest qualifier.
Listening to the revs. Some riders work out the butterflies, getting anxious, getting ready, keeping an eye on the 32nd board. The Mercedes has sky high. There she goes. Here come those revs. Watch the gate drop. Stewart trying the inside. Tomac gets the whole shot, and a couple of riders go down, including the 77 of Albertson.
I tell you what, guys, Stewart did not get out of the gate good. He double clutched it, and he used his experience. He instantly went to the inside.
Whoa, Tomac!
And came out with the lead, passing Tomac going down that first rhythm section.
Weston
Amazing.
Pike is running in 3rd. And Tomac looks like he came to play tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Tomac, or I'm sorry, Weston Pike, how great he's been this season. Of the 6 races, he's had a 7th and a couple of 5ths, really getting the attention of the Supercross community here with those great finishes.
Marsh is on the 51. He's running along in 4th. He's right there on the Honda. You heard Jenny talking about him making changes. We'll see if it pays off. And Dungey closing in on the backside of him. So we've got a pretty good battle going on here. Pike really coming in after Tomac as they had to slow down. Oh, look at that. Barcia gets inside of Pike.
He may go for Tomac also.
He was
wow.
He was going for
Just whipped it in there off that single.
Well, and remember, only 4 are going to transfer out of this because the 450 heat's different than those 250s. And Dungey feeling the pressure to get that Red Bull KTM up there, number 5. He goes inside of Pike, coming through this rhythm lane.
which becomes the outside. Pike may hold on to it. Also, Brock Tickle onto Suzuki. He's been quick here today. He's closing up on this group also. And that's the way that this season has been. Now that we've gone back to the heat race semi-LCQ qualifying format, 4 riders go out of the heat instead of 9 that we've had previously.
Heat racing in California was very good to James Stewart. 3 wins and 6 starts so far this year. They all came in California. 2 of them in Anaheim, 1 of them in Northern California at Oakland. Tomac and Barsha, talk about young riders that both came in with a lot of hype around them, and they both seem to be fairly well delivering on it so far.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Tomac got off to a rough start this year at the first Anaheim there, but look at they're keeping Stewart right there in tow. Look, it's like took a couple laps there to get going.
Watch James Stewart in the 700 or SX mode.
Well, it just accelerates right there. Watch, he got the rear tire down. Stayed just a little bit lower. Watch again, hard on the throttle. Suzuki, right? You notice how much lower he stays than Tomac here, just enough to get a bike length ahead. Then he had the inside in the next turn.
There goes Dungey around the outside of Tomac. And they both chase after Weston Pike, who has moved himself up to 3rd. A great ride by Weston.
No doubt, Dungey really riding aggressive here in this heat race, as you need to do. These races are quick. You notice there's only less than 2 laps to go now, and top 4 qualifying.
They go by so fast. Weston guarding the inside.
And Dungey has been so good this season on the hard-packed tracks. Remember round 3 at Anaheim, looked like he was going to wheelie away with the win, makes a mistake on the hard pack. So, but he's been quick in on this type of terrain.
When Dungey got up onto that front wheel, you know, he hasn't been in a semi all year. He's transferred out of every heat race. That's Ryan Dungey straight to the main. He's in 4th right now, so he's in a position with 1 to go to do that again here in Texas.
Yeah, and the heat races have been so competitive. Only Stewart, Dungey, and Roxon have won more than 1 heat race.
Here he comes, working the inside of Pike. Oh, that's going to be a tight corner there. Pike holds him, pinches him to the inside, and Dungey goes bar to bar with him. And look at Pike drive off the jumps.
Yeah, Pike just outdrove him. Yeah. He just outdrove him.
Oh boy, Dungey's not done. Crosses over, has to be careful because Tomac can take advantage.
Wow, look at Dungey with the low line accelerating. If he makes a mistake, he's in jeopardy of losing that qualifying spot to Tomac.
And Barsha takes a run at Stewart. Not going to happen. James is going to get the win. Pike will take 3rd. Dungey will transfer. Tomac and Tickle go to the semis.
Pretty exciting 6 laps.
But Will Hahn is going to be in the next one, Jenny.
Will Hahn getting set to race right here, but last weekend we didn't see you. You had a hand injury and you chose not to race in that main. How's your hand today?
Much better today than it has been the previous week. So right now I just decided that, you know, I felt better to come out here and give it my best shot for this whole Geico crew. Last weekend I felt unsafe, so back in my home state, ready to see all my friends and family and get a good result.
Thanks so much.
We'll see Will coming up here momentarily. Let's go back and watch how Justin Barsha got around Tomac.
Well, let's see here. See if he gets to the inside right here and cuts across. Oh, yeah. Goes a little bam bam on him, gives him a little touch. Not the full on, not the full on 10 bam bam.
He did
like
put
a
him
5.
off the track.
Yeah, nobody went down.
He made up a lot of time with Stewart.
He was fast. Barsha had the fastest lap time with a 45.9 to Stewart's 46.2.
That's the fastest lap of the day.
Yeah.
That's doing it.
Moving.
James Stewart picks up his 4th heat win in the last 5 races of the 6 we've had so far this year. Leads everybody in the category with 4 wins. Congratulations on that, James. And a big win a week ago. Well, you got a little bit of momentum going here now. How you feeling about all that? What's made the difference? Why suddenly the shift here?
I mean, honestly, I've been riding pretty good all year. Just last week and everything clicked, and you know, we're trying to figure out, work on the bike a little bit better. But that time I'm going to switch tires a little bit. It was kind of spinning out there, and then, you know, struggled a little bit, but hey, a win's a win, and I'll take it.
That's right. Hey, any win you can get is a good one, right?
You know
hey,
it.
what's the hardest part about this track, James? The dirt looks really hard.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just about, you have to have, the track is really peaky, so you have to have your bike stiff enough so you don't blow through, but at the same time, the dirt's super hard, so got to have it soft. So right now, we're kind of fighting it, but I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Hey, James, just before I let you go, you said you're going to do something different with your tires. What are you going to do?
I think I should put some road racing tires on this thing, how hard it is. So we got to figure out, talk over with the Dunlop boys, and hopefully they pick it so I can blame them if it goes bad.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
All right. Well, we'll see you later. Good luck in your quest for 2 in a row here tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, James Stewart is through. Road race tires. Working the blue groove.
Yeah, right?
At least dirt track tires.
That's right. Okay, we'll be back. Heat 2. Will Hahn and the rest getting ready to come up, including Villapoto when we return. Thursday, the Budweiser Duel at Daytona will be under the lights as the best drivers in the world race for a starting spot in the Daytona 500. Coverage of the Budweiser Duel at Daytona begins Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1. Great crowd on hand here in Arlington. Filling up AT&T Stadium. They've been here since, oh gosh, as soon as we got here this morning. Tailgating out in the parking lots all around the stadium. Lots of activity all around. All the restaurants have been full. People having a great time as they got pumped up for Monster Energy Supercross.
Well, they've been watching it the last 6 weeks. They're ready to go.
There's Villapoto. Villapoto trying to get Roxon fired up.
Fastest qualifier there.
They train together. Let's see how it goes today. Final pat from their mechanics. It's all up to you guys now.
And remember, Marcia had that fast lap time in Heat 1 with a 45.9, which is the fastest of the heats here tonight.
All right, 4 more riders will go straight to the main for the 450s coming up later on tonight. The start goes from sideline to sideline here in AT&T Stadium. The left-hander waiting at the other side. Kick it into gear. Get your revs up. Watch the gate. Here we go. Villapoto pole shots him. Alessi comes with him, and Roxon didn't get a good start. He's back at about 5th. 4 riders will transfer. Hill runs in 2nd on the RCH bike.
Yeah, Ricky, I thought your guy there, Josh Hill, had that hole shot. Looked like he got on the brakes a little bit hard, and Villapoto swept around the outside. The reason I mentioned that is because I believe they're starting a little further out tonight than normal. It gives you a better shot of sweeping around. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that as the riders line up for the main events.
Roxon runs in 3rd. It looks like Brayton back there in 4th.
Yeah, with how this track kind of shapes up too, and Jeff, you could elaborate on it, but it seems like there's only one line that's really good. If guys try to step out of the main line, it kind of
right there
makes it tough.
Example,
Actually, Roxon's in 4th, Brayton's in 5th. It's Villapoto and Hill in front of them. Oh, and Villapoto goes down. Ryan Villapoto makes a bobble. Down he goes, and look how quickly he loses 3, maybe 4 spots if Brayton can hustle around, get to that inside. He's going to come up alongside to the whoops, and Villapoto's going to lock in to 4th. Let's go back and see what happened to him.
Yeah, watch right here. You go down this rhythm section, and you actually quad. You go from this tabletop over 2 jumps. Just as I suspected, he got in there a little bit too far, grabbed some front brake, and all that loose dirt on top of the hard pack loses the front end. Exactly.
Shows you how treacherous it is out there tonight. And Josh Hill leads it here tonight. We watched his younger brother win his first main a week ago.
Fired him up.
Oh, yeah. Justin getting his win, and now big brother Josh trying to get a heat race win here tonight.
I know the RCH Racing guys, the team personnel, put a lot of pressure on Josh and Brock this week. Like, guys, you got to get your starts better. You know, your lap times are fairly good, and you're better than what you're showing, but it starts at that gate. And Josh making it happen right now.
I mean, especially in in a season where the competition is so close, it's so competitive. It definitely seems that the work ethic is there for riders all the way through the field.
Alessi pushes it wide and then rocks it. And here comes Hill right back. Oh, what a great battle. And we've got Villopoto sitting there in fourth, trying to work his way back up into the top three.
How about that, Alessi?
There
gives
goes
up the
third.
spot. Alessi was focused too much just on passing Hill, and in the process gets past and falls all the way back to fourth. And that was a mental mistake of making it a one-on-one type of thing, not really being aware or conscious that there's a whole freight train of riders right behind him.
Brayton has an opportunity sitting there on the 10, the Joe Gibbs Racing Yamaha. There he is. He's got a shot to get out of the semi and straight to the main if he can get around Alessi.
Well, and once again, Brayton, to me, is one of the riders this season, just like at Phoenix, that he really excels on a track where it's hard pack and not a lot of traction.
Boy, Villopoto going to work on Josh Hill.
Got a lapped rider in there, almost worked to Josh's advantage, where Villopoto had to check up a little bit on that quad.
Roczen starting to gap these two. Here he goes inside. Crowd cheers it. They like it. Villopoto now in second.
Well, Josh needs to just focus on getting in that top four for the qualifying spot, hooking onto Villopoto's line right here. One to go.
That's right. You're exactly right, Jeff. That's what he needs to do.
Maybe
follow
should
these
be
guys.
managing your team.
Yeah, maybe. That's right. Well, all for it. I'll take your job in the booth, and you can do that. That's right. How about that?
Final lap. Villopoto still working that traction, trying to get that rear tire of the Kawasaki to dig into this Texas clay.
You know,
he's caught Roczen a little bit, hasn't he? He's closed that gap up.
Yeah, that's right. He did that lap. You see Roczen making a little mistake there, misses the triple.
What mistake there, exiting the turn before the whoops too, yeah.
He might make a run at him here before this is over. Just to let him know, if nothing else, I was on your heels. Roczen gets the win. Villopoto takes second. And Brayton's going to go to the semi because Hill and Alessi beat him to the line.
And guys, we have a new fastest lap here. Villopoto just ripped one off that final lap, 45.5.
Clear track.
0.4 of a second faster than Barcia's fast lap in Heat 1. So Villopoto's won twice here before, the last two main events.
Well, Jenny, when it comes to stadiums on the tour that all make the stadium podium, this is certainly one of them.
Ralph, this is my first time inside AT&T Stadium, and let me tell you, it's pretty unbelievable. Right now, I'm watching the action with all the fans, and it's a great view. One thing that makes this place extremely fun is the enormous video board. It's actually bigger than a basketball court, and you can tell that there was a lot of money that goes into this stadium. It cost over $1.3 billion to build, and 80,000 people can sit inside this stadium. When the Super Bowl was held here, Super Bowl 45 in 2011, over 105,000 people were here to watch. It's a pretty great place for Supercross.
Yeah, and there's two sides to that board and 10
There are.
video screens.
There are. Let's go back and take a look at the highlights here. Here goes Alessi, then watch Roczen up the inside.
Yeah, Alessi right there had that pass made on Hill. Yeah, Hill comes back, and then you see Villopoto right back there, top four, wheel to wheel. Roczen so quick to take advantage of that opening that Alessi and Hill gave him. Used that to his advantage to win Heat 2.
Ken Roczen has 2 Heat wins this year, last 2 weeks. Picking up a bit of a roll here. All right, Ken Roczen joins us, the season opening winner at Anaheim. Now you've got some Heat race wins. Do you feel like you got your program back on track now to get another main event win? What's been keeping you off the top step of the podium?
Yeah, I want to give my best. I mean, like the last couple of weekends, I didn't really feel too comfortable in practice. Not really sure why, but felt good in that last one. I don't want to stress about it too much, you know, but it was a good heat race. Now actually didn't, a couple of mistakes, but there's some kickers in the jumps, and I don't know, almost went over the bars a couple of times, and but yeah, took advantage of that battle that was going on there, and then took the win. You know, it's good to come out of here with the win.
Hey, Ken, the track Ricky and I were talking about during that heat race, we feel by watching that there's kind of one line, and if you get out of that line, do you get in some of that loose stuff? Is there kind of a defined fast line all the way around?
For sure, especially with how much traction you have, there's one line that everybody takes, and if you try to make a pass, you have to really make it stick. If you just go another line to try something else, the guys from behind are coming, and the guy in front of you kind of pulls away. So, man, it's a good start tonight, and then keep it on 2 wheels and solid 20 laps.
Okay, Ken, we look forward to watching you in the main event coming up later on tonight. You've transferred through. Go get yourself ready.
All right, thank you.
So Ken Roxon is in. Villopoto tried to fire him up, and it worked. Roxon goes to the win. We've got more racing yet to go. Lots of it, actually, as we return in a little bit after these words.
Supercross is not for the faint of heart.
Oh, Barsha! Oh. Into the top blocks and over.
It takes uncommon courage.
Here comes Reed. Down he goes. Oh, Reed was giving it everything he had.
You line up and you race, no matter the pain, no matter the injury.
Whoa! Down goes Villopoto.
To be a champion, you must confront your fear. And when the gate falls, drop the clutch, turn the throttle, and race.
Oh, Trey Kennard is down and struggling to get up. Oh, Villopoto tosses it away.
For the Supercross racer, controlling fear is the first step to survival.
If I thought about being hurt, I would never touch a motorcycle again, but I think when you strap on that helmet, we have a sense of like, this is our little bubble, you know, our protection. We all take those chances and we don't really think about the consequences.
My biggest fear is actually having fear, I guess. You know, anytime you do have something in the back of your mind, that's when you ride a little more tight or just not yourself.
It seems like when you get into a habit like that of thinking about getting hurt or not wanting to get hurt is a lot of times when you make mistakes and get hurt.
I mean, we all think about it. None of us want to be hurt, but it's part of the business and it's just crappy. But I mean, it's the nature of the beast. But every time I've been hurt, first thing I could think about was getting back on my dirt bike.
The vast majority of Supercross careers last less than 10 years. Younger riders are waiting for their chance. Even for the superstars, each race is a test.
I would say there's been times when I've been feared of that, so it makes you work harder and want to succeed more.
Brayton coming inside! Oh man, Justin Brayton is back on the podium.
For me, I've done way more than I've ever thought I would do in my career. You learn way more from your failures than you do your successes. So I don't even know, honestly, if failure exists to me anymore.
Three-time champion Ryan Villopoto wears a different pair of boots.
Failure is a big part of what keeps me, I wouldn't say coming back, but keeps me doing what I'm doing or keeps me pushing to that next level.
And Ryan Villopoto wins his third championship in a row!
Seconds failure, you know, for me, I don't put in the time and the effort and spend the money to keep my program at the top and to not win. As bad as it sounds, everybody's waiting for me to fail. Who is going to be that guy to knock me off that top spot?
Supercross is the pinnacle of dirt track racing, and thousands of kids devote their entire childhood to getting there. As in other sports, these athletes crave competition. But what new life awaits the retiring rider who walks away from the only life he's ever known?
As far as my job, my biggest fear is the day where we got to hang up the boots. You know, we're old and can't really hang with the young bucks anymore.
I love the paddock. I love the people. I love racing and the bikes and the machinery. You know, I'm living my dream and I realize it's not going to last forever.
I'm fearful for the life after Supercross. I really am.
Chad Reed wins it at Anaheim! One of the toughest champions we've ever seen in this sport has stood atop the podium tonight to say his heart is as big as ever.
Thinking about retirement and being 31, everyone thinks that I'm old and that this is, you know, maybe the last year or two. It scares me a little bit. I mean, not gonna lie, it's not something that feels good. our sport's so dominated by kids and by younger age. It's always because, oh, it's so dangerous and you get families and kids and, you know, you've made your money, you should be happy and you should move on. But I don't feel any of that. I want to be the best that I can be and do it as long as I can.
Great look inside the minds of these incredible athletes that we have racing here in Monster Energy Supercross. Ricky, tell me about you when you were competing. Did you deal with fear?
Well, I was a lot like Ryan Villapoto listening to that feature, and my biggest fear was not preparing the right way and not winning and executing on the weekend. That's what I was most scared about, is not winning. I would feel like I would let everybody down. Not getting hurt. Okay, I really didn't think about that much because I wouldn't take the risk that I thought if I wrecked, I would get hurt. I was just scared to death to lose. That's what my fear was.
How about you, Jeff? How'd you deal with fear?
Well, I think the interesting thing, not only for myself, but for the riders that we have here tonight, is that risk that's involved, that risk of injury, possibly getting hurt. The best riders, they put that out of their mind. If they do get hurt, they process it, find out what they did wrong, and they basically delete it from the hard drive. They forget about it and move on, and that's one of the greatest talents that they have that allows them to do this sport at this level.
It's really incredible to see how these guys push it to the limits and deal with that, try to block it out of their minds so they can keep going forward. And Reed, a perfect example of that this week, when most of us would be so fearful of doing something even more to hurt their body. Boy, Reed just fights through it. He told me earlier today I would have felt more pain emotionally than what I'm feeling physically if I didn't give this a try this week. That's how they deal with the pain. 250 last chance qualifier is in the gate. We're going to have that for you when Fox Sports 2 returns right after these words. Stay with us. Well, if you're a Supercross fan that thinks you really know the sport, you should try the Rocky Mountain ATV MC Fantasy Supercross game. You just go to rmfantasysx.com. Once you get in there, you can create a profile, pick your weekly top 5, how you think they're going to do, and then maybe win some great prizes like a customized 450, Jeff.
Yeah, Kawasaki 450, second prize, a 250F.
A lot of great things. rmfantasysx.com. Jeremy Martin is in this last chance qualifier.
Yeah, this
Fast
is
enough not to be.
Well, yeah, this is definitely frustrating for him, I'm sure. Bogle in here as well.
Oh, bunch of riders making contact early on in this one. Top 4 going to advance out of here. This very short 4-lap race, more contact just outside of the top 5. And it's Richardson on the 60 who goes to the early lead. The XPR Extreme Performance Racing bike.
Looks like you got a pretty good battle here for second.
Catanzaro is in here on the 57. Bogle on the 32. Bogle's got second. Catanzaro's right there in third. Richardson continues to lead, but boy, he's got a lot of company.
Yeah, I'd like to see Bogle get it together here. He had coming from an injury in the offseason, had a bad practice crash, and had a pretty quick healing process. Worked really hard to get back, and
working hard for the lead right here.
There's Bogle inside. He's going to grab that lead. How about Catanzaro sitting there on the 57? He's going to look inside, go for second. Does so, puts it right into Richardson, who gets jostled around a little bit, but Wentland not able to make the move on the 88. Let's go back and take a look at that first turn. It got pretty hairy in there quickly, Jeff.
Yeah, watch right out here. This is Martin. Roll this here. Watch what happens is he's trying to sneak there around the outside, and everybody just starts to pile up. Now notice he goes off the track. 2 riders go down. He has to go around all of the tough blocks and find a safe place to enter back onto the track. Currently running 10th.
This is how they change things up in the fight for the lead.
And watch right here is Wentland. He's 4th right here. These riders start to get together.
Oh. Now we go back to the live action with 2 to go. Still Bogle, out front.
White flag for Bogle here as he puts down a 47.5 that time around, his fastest of this LCQ. Gets out front, gets the flow going here, prepares himself for the main event. He's got that transfer spot locked down here on the final lap, and he's going to leave it to Cannizzaro, Richardson, and Wentland to battle it out. And it looks like Owen at 4:10 about 3 seconds behind, so these top four definitely have a nice, comfortable qualifying positions ahead of him.
Bogle, who missed all of last year, had a broken scaphoid and a dislocated wrist. 7th in the Lights East, or the 250 East Championship in 2012 out of Oklahoma.
Feeling good.
Checkered flag. Who's going to be that 4th and final rider? Looks like it's the 88 of Wentland. So Martin was able to fight his way back up inside the top 10, but not enough, unfortunately, for the season opener for the 250 East. We'll be back.